Welcome to this explainer. Okay, today we are diving into something that is an absolute game changer. We're going to completely shatter the illusion of what we call objective reality. Together, we're going to look at the silent architecture of your brain and discover how you can actually take full control of it.
Have you ever wondered how two people can look at the exact same event yet walk away with completely different realities? It's a scenario we all know, right? It poses this fascinating question. Why do human reactions to the exact same external stimuli so often look like polar opposites? There's this massive gap between simply seeing something and actually understanding it. The event is identical, yet the human experience is entirely different. Why is that?
Picture this. You're stuck in gridlock traffic. One person is sitting there white-knuckling the steering wheel, experiencing what they'd call pure agony. But the person in the very next car, they're looking at the exact same traffic jam and thinking, awesome, I finally have time to listen to that new podcast. Or think about work. A delayed project hits a manager's desk. One sees a total unmitigated disaster, while another sees a golden chance to showcase the team's problem-solving capabilities. It isn't the traffic, and it isn't the delayed project that dictates the experience. It is the internal lens each person uses to view it.
So the crucial point here is that cognitive scientists actually have a name for this lens. They call it a concept. A concept is basically the mental image, the definition, and the internal framework you build around literally everything: a phenomenon, an object, a person, or a situation. What this means is that we never interact with raw reality, ever. We only ever interact with our perception of it. It's a pretty profound realization when it hits you. The events themselves don't shape our lives. Our concepts of them do.
So here is our roadmap for today's explainer. 1. The science of perception. 2. The 3 impact layers. 3. Rewiring your mind. And finally, 4. The path to growth.
Let's jump right into Section 1, the science of perception. Simply put, your brain is a reality engine, not a camera.
We're leaving philosophy at the door now and moving straight into hard cognitive science. Decades of research have given us 4 distinct theories that scientifically deconstruct exactly how our brains filter and fabricate the world we experience, building it from scratch using our past experiences, beliefs, and emotions.
Let's start with mental representations, based on the work of Lawrence Barsalou. You have to realize that you never actually see a raw tree. Sounds crazy, right? But when you look at a forest, your brain is taking raw sensory data and instantly slapping a pre-built mental model onto it. You see the concept of a tree that your brain has built up over years and years of experience. Your brain simply cannot process the raw, unfiltered reality of the universe. It needs that model.
Next up, perceptual load theory. This is where it gets wild. Nili Lavie at University College London proved that our processing capacity is actually highly limited. Because of this limited bandwidth, the brain is forced to be selective. It literally has to choose what to focus on. And what guides that choice? Your prior concepts. This means you only see what you already have a concept for. Things without concepts remain completely invisible to you in your day-to-day life.
Then we have the Dunning-Kruger effect. You've probably heard of this one, but it's a fascinating paradox that proves the immense power of these mental frameworks. It shows that people with a weak concept of a subject often think they know everything about it. Why? Well, to recognize your own ignorance on a topic, you actually need the very concept you are lacking. It's wild. Your circle of knowledge acts as the exact boundary of your ignorance.
And finally, confirmation bias. This acts as the ultimate filter. Once a concept forms in your head, your brain goes to work subconsciously hunting for evidence to confirm it, while actively, and I mean actively, ignoring opposing facts. For example, if your concept of a government job is that it means total security and comfort, your brain will literally delete news articles about bureaucratic burnout or administrative crisis from your awareness. It just won't let that data in.
Okay, moving to Section 2, the 3 impact layers. Let's look at how these concepts dictate your daily resources.
So, we know the brain filters reality. But how does this scientifically proven filter impact your life? Well, it creates a massive domino effect across 3 distinct layers. First up, concepts control your attention. They completely dictate what you look at and what you deem important. Second, they control your energy, determining what gives you a spark of passion versus what totally exhausts you. And third, they control your behavior, driving how you interact with people and the choices you ultimately make.
Let's put this into perspective with some real-world examples. Look at how the exact same phenomenon leads to entirely different behavioral outcomes based purely on the assigned concept. Take criticism. If your concept of criticism is humiliation, your energy goes negative and your behavior is to immediately attack or defend. But if your concept is growth feedback, your energy is positive and your behavior is to learn. Same goes for failure. Is it the end of the road where you just quit? Or is it a failed experiment where you get curious and try again?
Section 3. Rewiring your mind. Let's get into the practical tools to actually hack your reality.
Understanding the science is fantastic, but honestly, it's useless if we can't apply it. So, we are going to break this down into a highly structured 3-step cognitive rewiring process. It goes awareness, conscious choice, and changing vocabulary. The best part? You can start using this the minute this explainer ends. Let's look at step 1.
Here is your challenge. For the next 24 hours, whenever you feel your energy suddenly drop, whenever you get unexpectedly angry, or whenever you feel the intense urge to just quit something, you must pause, stop right there in your tracks, and ask yourself this exact diagnostic question. What specific concept of this situation has just been activated in my mind? Just the act of catching the concept in real time begins to disarm it.
Once you have that awareness, you move straight to conscious choice. This is where you sit down and literally write out new definitions for massive life pillars. What was your concept of failure up until today, and what is your new, consciously chosen concept going to be? Do the same for the job market. Do the exact same thing for your own abilities. You are essentially manually updating the software of your own reality engine.
And step 3 is where the magic truly happens, and it's done entirely through vocabulary shifts in your everyday life. Instead of declaring a situation as universally bad, saying, "This is a really bad situation," you acknowledge that it is simply your current flexible concept of it. You change it to, "The concept I currently have of this situation is changeable." Look at how this simple shift removes the threat. You transition from being a helpless victim of a permanently dangerous person to simply being an observer gathering more data. You say, "My concept of this person is based on my current information. I can learn more." It's incredible. It gives you the power back instantly.
Which brings us to our final part, Section 4, the path to growth and breaking your mental ceilings.
I absolutely love this quote because it is the ultimate realization of personal agency. The outside world is what it is. It's chaotic, it's unpredictable. But your internal world, that lens through which you process all of that chaos, that is 100% yours to design.
It's all a sequential chain reaction, you see. The very moment you rewrite a concept, your attention automatically pivots. Because your attention pivots, your energy shifts. That new energy causes your behavior to adapt, and inevitably, as a result, your life results transform. It all cascades down from that very first step, the changed concept.
Tying this all back to our broader source material, this right here is why there is literally no ceiling to human growth, provided you constantly upgrade your mental frameworks. Someone who holds on to the concept of "I can't" will never grow. But the person who builds the concept of "I am learning" has just stepped onto the highway of infinite growth. Our relationship to any situation, whether we see it as a threat or a profound opportunity, is nothing but the result of our concepts.
The reality engine in your head is running right now. It never stops. So, I'm going to leave you with this final, provocative thought to ponder today. What deeply held concept will you choose to completely redefine right now? Thank you for joining me for this explainer, and I will see you next time.